Hey everyone! Today's video is going to be another one of Dollightful's repaint, doll, recreation, something and another. I don't know what to call this. I love her creations that she does for her doll repaints, and I decided to do another one, and today's one will be the Demon Girl one because I have context to it. So, if you didn't catch the first video that I did, it was the Nova Galaxy doll look, and I will leave the link in the description and on the end tag so you guys can click on it and watch it for yourselves. I take no credit for the look. It's all Dollightful's ideas and, you know, magic. So head on over to her channel, subscribe to her, give her love, support, all of that, and click that little red button for me too if you like watching body paints, FX, cosplay. I really don't know what's going on with my channel. Just subscribe and you'll see for yourself eventually. Alright, we'll start. I apologize to begin with for how it will turn out. I can really only do this after work, so it's already really late when I start, so I never have enough time to layer and paint as it should be by the time, you know, I don't know. But you get the general idea. Anyway, so far I applied the primer to my face and I'm painting my body with the Mayron Paradise body paint in red. 2 or 3 layers would make it completely opaque, but you know, whatever. I blended in black paint as a contour and gold as a highlight. I probably should have used silver or white or something, but it was too late. I wanted to lighten it up a bit, so I used my regular foundation powder instead of translucent powder, and I completely regretted it the instant I did it because it changed the shade of the red along with the contour, which made it darker from the bright red she already was. So I tried to brighten it up a little bit by rubbing in the remaining wet red paint, and you know, I did what I could. I didn't have a dark blush, so I just used the darkest lipstick that I had that wasn't black. I regretted using the highlighter as well because that continued to change the shade. I should have just left it because the gold had enough shimmer and shine in it anyways. For the eyeliner, I'm using a black liner that I got from the dollar store, and I'm just using that to I'm using that to line my waterline and also as a lip liner later. And I'm painting on my lovely thick lashes with my fine tipped black ink liner from NYX Cosmetics. I didn't realize the camera stopped recording, so you missed a good chunk of it, but it's all pretty much the same thing, so don't worry. Add a little mascara, and then I'm using my same old cheap black eyeliner from the dollar store to fill in my eyebrows. She has a bit of highlight under her brows, in the corners of her eyes, and on the bow of her lips, so I'm just using my Mayron body paint in silver since I don't have the shade in eyeliner. If you are doing this, just be really careful not to get any paint in your eyes. You honestly really should be using eyeliner, but I didn't have it, and you know, just don't follow me. I decided to add some false lashes anyways, and I went back in and rounded out my eyebrows a little bit more to match hers a bit better. Next, of course, I'm lining my lips with a black liner and filling it in with the Blackout Matte Lip shade from e.l.f. Cosmetics. I wanted it shinier, so I added black glitter as a topper. The silver was kind of blended in on her, so I just kind of tried to match that with some white eyeshadow from the closest palette I had, and I'm just using whatever to, touch up what I need to. Finally, for the face, I just added some silver rhinestones because I could not help myself. I know she doesn't have them on her face, but I just needed to do it. I got tired of editing makeup stuff, so I'm going to show you how I made a quickie pair of demon horns and ears. The materials you'll need for this are black and red acrylic paint. I did not realize the black had a gloss finish and the red was matte, but it kind of worked out anyways. You'll also need masking tape, aluminum or aluminium foil, 2 skewer sticks, and a paintbrush. I already made one of the horns off camera to see how it worked out, and it did, so all you have to do is just mold and form your horns into the size and shape that you like, and wrap it in masking tape until it is smooth as you can get it, and paint it with the acrylic paint. The skewer sticks come in handy to hold your horns and ears so you can paint the bottom of them and also allow it to dry nicely without sticking to anything. The ears were much more difficult to make because my ears are weird in the first place, so I used a small amount of foil to mold around my ear to measure and make my life easier. And then you do the same thing as you did with your horns, which is to mold the size and shape with the foil, wrap it in masking tape, paint the same design on it, and let it dry on the skewer sticks. By now my horns were dry and I was ready to attach them to my headband. To do this, you'll need a headband, thick wire, wire cutters, your horns, black ribbon or tape, and a hot glue gun. Measure out a good enough length of wire to double it up for strength, and make sure it's long enough to fit deep into your horns with enough wire to wrap around your headband at the end. After I measured, I cut the wire and bent it in half. I tightened it up with some flat pliers and lightly twisted it to the end. You could slip it into the same hole you made with the skewer sticks or poke out a new hole in the center. Just make sure to use a good amount of glue when you insert the wire and reinforce the bottom with more glue. Once that dries, separate the wires so you can wrap it tightly around your headband. Make sure you wrap them around in opposite directions, if that makes sense, so the horn is centered and so you won't have trouble with it later. The plastic headband I used initially was too weak and flimsy for the weight of the horns, so I switched it with a sturdier metal one. I had to use the pliers to make the wires tighter because the headband wasn't the same size and, you know, it was sliding around. After you attach the wire, add another glob of hot glue to keep everything in place. Please, please, please make sure everything is centered first. I did not, so my horns will forever be crooked. Anyways, the last thing you'll need to do is cover the headband wires and glue with either ribbon or tape. I used electrical tape, but you can use whatever you want, and then you're all done. Alright, back to the makeup. I just painted on the straps with black body paint. Again, you can make it more opaque by adding more layers, but by then it was really late and I needed to go to bed. So this is what you get. My ears were finally dry, so I was ready to put them on. I used spirit gum as an adhesive, but you can also use the latex or whatever else you have. Just don't forget to tap the spirit gum until it becomes tacky if that's what you're using, and make sure you use enough of it if you made large or heavy ears. I did not. All you have to do is apply your wig and accessories and whatever else, and then, you know, you're good. I almost forgot the beauty marks, and I kind of extended my lips just a little bit to make it a little more pointy and sharp, and then I was done. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was kind of a hot mess, but you know, we roll with the punches over here, so I mean, I don't know. But again, don't forget to head over to Dollightful's channel and subscribe to her and click my subscribe button because you love me or you're interested, or I don't know where I'm going with this, I'm sorry. These horns, these ears were a bit weird to make, but if you want a quick and easy, you know, DIY something for your pictures, or, you know, whatever, aluminum foil and tape is the way to go. The only problem is just kind of keeping them smooth, so naturally I guess you would just case it, I'm kidding it, case it with, like, you can use epoxy or clay, or just layer till it's smooth, some kind of something, some plastic, some Warbler, whatever, or I mean, you really can get into like full-on like cosplay crafting mode when it comes to creating horns, but this is the cheapest, easiest, do it in 5 minutes way. Hopefully it helped you out. I don't know, I just made these for this. So yeah. With that being said, before I go, these ears are driving me insane, so I should... Okay, alright, well, I put too much spirit gum on these ears. Ouch! Alright, bad mistake, and now my ears are sticky. So, don't use spirit gum. If you want this to come off, maybe use some latex that'll peel off easier and not feel icky on your ears. But yeah. Alright, with that being said, please have a wonderful night, morning, evening, or afternoon when you're Please have a wonderful night, morning, evening, or afternoon, whenever you're watching, and I will see you lovelies next time.